welcome to After Dark, the show that's fun. With me is Andy and Penny. Hello, Andy and Penny.
Hello. What's wrong now?
Because
it's too much fun. I can't handle all the fun.
This is the fourth time we've started this.
Yeah, the conversations I had beforehand. We're still, if you listen to the past episode, we're still going on about jizz. If we left that in, I don't know. Andy will.
We'll have to now because you've mentioned it here.
We probably did.
Yeah, and Penny's calling me a jizz stain or something.
I didn't call you a jizz stain.
Just one jizz. Singular jizz.
Jizz.
This is a show for adults only, so don't put your kids in here. Maybe not so last week when we had our Golden Balls special. Hope you all enjoyed that. Our Golden Balls and Noel Edmonds is a dick special, I think. But yeah, we didn't know that we were going to do a whole fucking thing about Golden Balls. But hey, that was some fantastic content and some shocks in there right at the end as well. So there you go. Welcome.
And
to
then you Golden Balls Andy, I hear, in life in the week.
Yeah, twice in fact.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we had our last official board game of lockdown because by the time this comes out, lockdown's over. Yeah, but when we record this, it was before we played some board games. One of the board games was to trust someone that he wasn't going to do anything, and Andy kind of trusted me, but I'd ended up killing him in the game.
But Dan's sus. Dan's always sus.
Can you believe that?
After everything we went through in that last episode.
Also, Among Us. Did I kill you in Among Us as well? I'm talking about the board game and Among Us. I think I killed you in both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what you did in Among Us is you fucking threw me under the bus.
Oh yeah.
You were talking bollocks. On 3 different occasions I said, look, it's not me. You can trust me. I can tell you exactly where I am. And he's
I
like,
wasn't the
that's
imposter either.
suspicious.
Neither of us were, but I thought Andy was.
Yeah, and somehow managed to persuade fucking 7 other people
Yeah.
that I was the arsehole.
And he wasn't.
And you swore on Sherlock's life. I mean, you weren't the imposter, but I don't know how I feel about people swearing on their animals' lives.
It's fine. He's a dick.
Such a piece of shit.
Sus.
Such a jizz.
He's such a jizz.
Please not have that as a thing going forward. That's such a.
It's gonna be a t-shirt, mate. I'm already on Redbubble. It's done. Dan is a jizz.
The shit I put up with, ladies and gents.
Is it just going to be a picture of like a little floating sperm with his face on it?
Just my head on it.
As long as it doesn't look too much like Internet Ghost.
I'm gonna Photoshop that now. We'll have it done by the end.
No, you're not. That was the thumbnail for this episode. That's it. Everyone will be so confused, but hey, it's clickable, I guess. How's everyone's week been?
It's been alright.
Has there anything that's happened this time, instead of we going to go to Golden Balls?
What do you mean by happened? Oh, I have an update on Iron Man.
Oh, yes.
For previous Iron Man.
Where the fuck
fans,
did this guy come from?
Yeah. So we think. Should I go back in episode 2? Yeah. My dad ordered something. This turned up from China. Wasn't sure what it was.
From Wish?
My dad. No, it wasn't. I think I got out of him so that he ordered something off of Facebook.
Oh, I mean that in itself explains it.
I've ordered some stuff from Facebook.
What's
and it's
wrong
been
with
fine.
Facebook Marketplace?
No, it wasn't Marketplace.
Marketplace isn't
it was
in
an
China.
advert.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so what he thinks might have happened is he saw like a fancy watch winder, like a box, and you put your watches in it, and it winds your watch.
Uh-huh.
And this is what he got from China.
It's that.
I told you it was a watch stand. Let the record show that I said it was a watch stand.
So he was like, oh, I must have just got sent the wrong thing. And I went, or you got scammed. And he was like, maybe. So I suggested he gets a charge back on his credit card. But we think that's where Iron Man came from, and we think that's what he does. I don't wear a watch, so I don't really know what to do with him still.
I never knew there was watch stands until now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a watch winder. I don't know why you need a watch stand.
In case you've got more than one watch. Or if you need to charge it, instead of just lying it face down, you put it on a watch stand.
I think Mr. Grey in 50 Shades had a watch stand. He had multiple
I've
ties.
blocked out.
I remember that.
I've blocked out a lot of that film. I can't remember.
Still seared into
So,
my
yeah.
brain. Well, that's
Possibly
exciting.
the mystery of Iron Man solved. So there you go.
Thank goodness. Everyone was waiting with bated.
Driving my house nuts anyway.
Okay. What happened with you, Andy? Tell us something exciting.
Very little. Had a week off. Did fuck all. Played board games. Got thrown under the bus by Dan quite a few times in various games. That's it.
Would you like to update us on your office background? Has it now changed? Now Flamingo has appeared and RGB lighting.
Now the RGB lighting was there. I just block it with my mass.
Okay.
That that flamingo was also there. Again, it was blocked. You can now see. You can now see the corner of the Leon poster.
What is your? Did you ever tell what posters you got on here?
I don't know. Did I?
What posters did you get?
Mm.
Just in case.
I've got. Can't see. This one behind my head is Death Proof. Fantastic, Mr. Fox. Leon. There's also a Parasite one hidden, but I'm not getting out because it's effort.
That's the one where you can see the basement, the whole outline of the house, isn't it? that the one?
It's stairs.
Just stairs.
Just
So
stairs.
It's the lamp that he fucking headbutts.
Yeah.
Then you've got the stairs going down to the
Oh, yeah.
basement, and you've got two sets of people at different levels. It's quite good. Fantastic, Mr. Fox one might be my favourite.
I kind of want to get one of them. I don't know where. I need to put something up. There's just fucking photos of you everywhere. As weird as that may sound. Photoshops of you in a unicorn, which I showed last time. I've got one Pulp Fiction thing. That's it. I'm just fucking boring. So
Again, if you want, I can Photoshop my face on all the other pictures that you would have.
no, it's all right. Just stick with the sperm and me. I think that'll be all right.
Cool.
That's all you need to do.
How is it worse when you said sperm rather than jizz?
I don't know.
Because I'm
It just felt worse.
posh. I don't know. Jizz, sperm. I'm like you, Pam.
Just felt worse.
Sperm is more posh.
You say unlike me.
Like you.
I think he's saying you're not posh.
It's fine. I'm from Essex. What do you want?
I too was from Essex at one point. I know what you're like.
No, you're from Ireland.
I've been around many places and travelled
That's why I've
many
heard about
roads.
you, jizz.
Oh,
You
fuck
goddamn
off.
ejaculate.
Please, this is not a can. No, I don't want to have my internet reputation by, it's the jizz. Like one of my other channels, like
Captain
different level.
Jizz.
As soon as I put a video up in there, the first comment,
Captain
it's the
Jizz.
jizz.
Captain Jizz.
I don't want that fucking moving on into other places, so let's just keep it here in our safe space on
Okay.
the internet.
Let's
where
keep
we
all the
can
jizz here.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is a jizz free
in a
zone.
jar. Anyway,
I don't think this Coke is doing me any favours tonight. Maybe I'll switch to water. Oh,
I mean,
Uh,
moving on. Yeah, you know what she does before fucking recording. Just a couple of lines. 9 lines, please.
fucking hell, 9.
Okay, just one then,
Sounds
I
like
guess.
a lot.
I mean, the fact that she's not saying, no, it's just Coke. Not, she's just still
I can't
going
bother to
along
argue
with
with
it.
you anymore. You can see me picking up and drinking it, so I'm
I
not going to
couldn't
argue
see
with
through
you.
your magically living room of fire that seems to... You can try.
Fireplace.
Yeah.
My
it's
fireplace.
just nice.
My booze.
It's just nice for me that you're
Nice
fighting
job.
amongst yourselves. I can sit here quietly for once.
That's true. Hey, I found some news just before we started. They're scrapping GCSEs in Wales.
Yeah.
And
What are they doing instead?
the teachers is giving
They're
them an
taking-
assessment. Now, if that should be the case, I think. Don't you think? Just don't do the exams, just have a teacher's like overall assessment throughout the whole how many years? That's a
Yeah,
better
but what
assessment.
if you piss off that teacher,
Don't
but
piss
you
off
know
the
you can
teacher.
smash the exams? We've all been there. We've done that.
It's a lot of work for a teacher as well when they already do a lot. They already do a lot of reports and marking and things like.
Yeah, they're just going to cut corners and be like, fuck it. Give them a
I think it's too much pressure. Like obviously they do assessments and they mark things over having marked school kids work and things like that. They do it like all year. But to do that for 30 kids and the pressure of it being like, well, are they going to get into college or whatever?
It's
Do they really care?
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, teachers are supposed to care. Not saying they all do, but the ones I know do.
That's why I can be a teacher.
I don't know. I feel like they do too many exams, but you still need some exams.
I'm not saying get
I
rid
don't
of
think you
exams,
can.
but just maybe have half of it. Like, you know, when you
Yeah, they
do
don't need as many,
coursework.
but I don't think they should. Yeah,
Well,
coursework.
They should have just done their exams like a couple of months ago. According to my friend who's doing their GCSEs. Don't ask why I've got a mate who's doing GCSEs. Let's continue. He has just done his GCSEs. Some exams in the last couple of weeks. I think they're mocks in fairness, but I think they'll just end up taking those results, won't they?
Yeah. I don't think they need to do SATs for like little kids.
I never
They're
understood.
like all again, having worked with kids when they were going through that, they're all like, right, kids at age 6 should be able to do this, and this. And it's just not possible. Like, you can't have the gap in the class that I worked in between like the best performing student and the, I don't want to say worst, but like the gap in the abilities was massive, even with 6-year-olds.
Do you think they should?
You can't.
Do you think they should give them more interesting job roles, like welding at 6?
Not at 6, but they should definitely teach more life skills than fucking. Who used algebra lately? Anybody?
No.
I mean, I haven't used welding lately, but maybe that's because I never learned how to do it. Maybe if I'd learnt welding rather than algebra, I'd know how to do it.
They should work in the coal mines, actually. Well, I just thought that, you know, knowing the student for a longer period of time rather than just have an exam at the end of it to determine. To be honest, I fucking hate school, and I did really badly in my GCSEs. It's the only reason I'm bringing it up. But for a brief period of time, I was a good little boy. Fell in with the wrong crowd, got bad GCSEs, but it's not the end of the world. And hey, if you're watching and you're taking your GCSEs this summer,
You shouldn't be, because this isn't PG.
PG-13.
Just saying.
If you PG-13 on occasions, let's put it that way. But if you are, hey, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of. I'm trying to make a point. It's not the end of the world.
I also failed my GCSEs as well. It's one of those things.
Take my eyes out of my skull.
You could end up like me and Dan.
Well, don't you fucking put.
And you could pass your GCSEs and end up having to hang out with Andy and Dan. So everyone loses. Really.
Says you, who's hanging out with Andy and Dan 5 hours every fucking week on a Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's the point she was making.
That was the point I was making.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to, just like with the ducks, I was trying to clarify. Don't make me out to be.
Find us a funny video.
Understand. What funny video?
It doesn't matter how your GCSEs go. You could end up talking bollocks like us.
Sure, why not? I was going to tell you something before we start playing videos, and that's all we do on this podcast, because I don't want it to be just that. Because everyone can play videos. I was going to tell you the story of how Derek Acorah blocked me before he died. Remember him? Do I feel bad about
his
it?
Mate.
Not really.
Did Sam block you as well? Didn't he have a mate called Sam that nobody could see? Wasn't that the dude that he would be like, yes,
hang on a second. He had a mate called Sam.
Most Wanted.
Yeah, he had his little spirit friend.
Most Haunted, not Most Wanted.
Most Wanted. Yeah,
Most
he'd
Wanted.
be like round a
Top of Interpol's list.
in a haunted place, and he'd be like, oh, hang on.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Right. Yeah. Oh, Sam said that you're a dickhead, but he also said that your nan used to live here.
That show is so entertaining, but so bullshit. Off the cuff, I hate these kinds of people, mediums, all that kind. I fucking hate them. That's why I eventually ended up getting.
I don't hate all of them, for the record.
I sent you one today, right? And I'm not going to name any names or anything like that. but there's a local one that's in our area that's been shared on like the Facebook pages of our local area. So like there's a group that's dedicated to like selling things in the area if people want to buy stuff, and someone stuck a live stream of like a medium doing stuff, and she's doing it in coronavirus conditions, so she's doing it through Facebook live streams.
Internet
ghost medium, essentially.
She sends you tarot cards through your printer when you're not looking.
But the thing she's doing is like, she was like,
be great.
The person who gives me the most amount of money, I will tell you if someone is like speaking to me. Fuck off.
Yeah, it was only like, wasn't it? She kept saying like top stars.
Top stars is a thing on Facebook. Like, yeah, you can give stars.
Yeah, like when they do live streams, if you give the biggest tip to a band on certain things, then you get, which is not the way.
And I get it's a business, but I think it's quite a fraudulent business. Is what I mean. If people
it's a very fraudulent business.
She's just trying to make a living. I'm like, well, what, by scamming people? But I know there's vulnerable people, and I get that people, and even my mother went to a medium when her mother died, and she felt like it comforted her, even though my thoughts were that's bullshit and everything about
Jen's been to one.
Yeah,
I technically met one. I didn't go. That's a different story. Maybe we'll do after this. But yeah, I think some people can do it, but I think if you're charging people for it, it's a little bit iffy.
I just think it's just, especially because now you can tell through the internet. Like that's just clearly, if you can't, like the whole thing was, oh, they're in the room. Oh, I can feel someone in the room. You're telling me that the internet ghost theory is coming through, from our podcast to mediums. The internet ghost theory is everywhere. There's internet ghosts everywhere, technically.
That's the problem, isn't it? If they're like deliberately aiming for the people who are paying them.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then the people who are paying go, oh, it must be legit because I paid for a better service, and now they're actually talking. It's like they've just pulled a fucking name out of a hat and then gone, oh, it's probably your nan, I guess. Is it your? It's your nan. She's dead. I know that. It's like, of course,
it's cold reading, isn't it? It's like if you're our age, you've probably got a grandparent that's dead, rather than a parent that's dead, and then you've got like old people names, but you can be like, oh, it begins with like an F or something, and people that are looking for it put it together because, like you said, they want some comfort or whatever.
So
I'm low-key interested in like seeing one purely to fuck with them.
I'll tell you what. My mum went to go see one when I was about 5 years old, and the medium predicted every single thing right. So she even said to her that my favorite toy was Thomas the Tank Engine toy. She mentioned that to her. I wasn't even in the room. Now that was, I know,
but a 5-year-old boy.
Yeah, I know, and that blew her mind, and now she believes in them, and I get that. And I'm still 100% like, that's bollocks. It's just deduction. That's all it is.
So I used to work in a shop. It was ridiculous. I was 19, I think, and I worked in this fucking shit shop, and it sold glass vases, porcelain dolls, and like wooden puzzles.
Crystal skulls.
Like basically, I wish it'd been more interesting.
Was it
was
a charity
opposite.
shop?
No, it was weird. It was opposite one of those, like a jeweler's. I can't think of the word. Where you go and
Pawn shop.
Yeah, it was like a jewelry pawn shop, and the guy that owned it owned 2 of them, and he bought the shop opposite for his other half, and they just filled it full of crap. And then I ended up working there, and like nobody ever came in. Like there was only so many times I could clean all the vases and stuff. It was ridiculous. And for years and years beforehand, it used to be a stamp shop, like, people collecting stamps, like for like decades.
Yeah.
And I was in there one day, and just like this, people would come in occasionally. This kind of, I would say old man, this old kind of man came in, and he was nice enough, and I can chat to anyone, and we were chatting. And he said, first he was like, oh, what happened to the stamp shop and all this stuff? And then he was just like, oh, well, you're creative, aren't you? You paint. And I was like, oh, yeah. Wait, what? And he was like, oh, sorry, let me explain. And he kind of told me a bunch of stuff. He was like, do you mind? And I was like, no. And he was like, and he told me a bunch of stuff that he couldn't possibly, I knew didn't want to tell this story. He told me a bunch of stuff he couldn't possibly have known. And then was like, so yeah, have you got any questions? And I was like, no. But like, and he was really nice, and like he left and whatever, but he was just like, and he was kind of doing that Derek Acorah thing, but not as exaggerated. He was just kind of listen. And I am very skeptical. And lots of my friends are like, oh, it was all stuff off of Facebook. And it was like things off of Facebook. And I was like, it was nothing that you would put on Facebook. And it was vague, but not quite vague enough to just be fucking anything. And it was completely random and unwarranted. So I'm not saying like I fully believe it, but part of me is a bit like,
maybe
like my friend's kid, when she was like 5 or 6, she told us about our cat that our cat had passed away. She's like, oh no, you've got another cat, he's up there. You know how they say like kids can see things?
Yes.
Like little kids are more susceptible to it. And she was like, oh no, you've got one and he's up there. And she knew what colour he was, and he used to sit on top of our fridge before he died and stuff like that. So there's little things like that made me think like, yeah, maybe like it could be a thing. But like the fact that he just came in and he kind of, you know, what would he get out of that kind of thing, you know? But like if you were paying someone to be like, please talk to my dead so-and-so, like then I find that different.
That's a bit like, I know it's completely different, but I think we talked about in episode 1 where it's like, if I was in that situation, because it's small talk to me, I'd crumble under the pressure.
I can chat to anyone, so that's fine.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's stuff like that where I'm like, oh, maybe. But then you get people like Derek Acorah, who was full of shit. And again, taking money from grieving people is
well, he just had he got, for people who don't know who he is, he got very famous and he became a TV personality who had Most Haunted, is probably his most famous thing, where he would go into haunted places with a camera crew and they would just with night vision go, oh, did you hear that? Oh, would you hear, like walking into different rooms and going, oh, I'm talking to
it's cold in
someone.
Now.
Oh, it's really cold. Oh, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. You've seen it before in millions of different shows, and there's different versions of it by different people. But yeah, I just found, but the story was, it's not really a big story, but like he was saying stuff about, he was coming to, so I was living in Brighton at the time, and he was coming to Brighton Centre, which is our big kind of venue, to do a show. And because I was quite young at the time, I just said, fuck off, you tosser, on Twitter to him. And then he was like, sort of like language Timothy sort of reply back to me. And then we had this ongoing conversation for about 15 messages, where his fans ended up like attacking me because they saw he was replying to me. I was in this weird situation and stuff. And then my friends came along because I phoned them up and was like, Derek Acorah is fucking talking to me on Twitter. Fucking back me up. And they came along, so going, yeah, you fucking... Oh, it's so good.
You just sent Sam after you.
I'll try find like the transcript. It's quite an old... It's my old Twitter account. I don't know if it's deleted or not. But then the weird thing happened where like I left it to rest. And then I get a message from his wife. Derek Acorah's wife, and then she starts fucking DMing me going, you shouldn't be doing that, it's very rude, young man, and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, you fucking crossed the nerve, you fucking. And then I just blocked her, and then she blocked me, and then Derek Acorah blocked me, and they still, I know he's dead now, but he still has blocked me on Twitter. So if you're listening, Derek, from beyond the grave in your ghosted world, if you can unblock me, can we be friends again? I'm sure the spirits will hear me and stuff. Cause
not where I thought that was going.
That's what you've been doing your whole fucking career and making money.
I like that he was so frightened of you, he sent his wife after you.
I'm going to get so many dislikes on this video. I'm so sorry, guys. There's going to be fucking people who believe in...
How long's he been dead for? A while, right? And I thought it turned out he was a fraud, so fuck that guy.
I mean, like...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, Uri Geller was the same. James Randi proved that many times, and he was still on Good Morning or This Morning, whatever, fucking bending spoons.
Look,
it's all bollocks.
I wish I could bend a spoon.
If he provides entertainment for people, and yes, Most Haunted is entertaining for the reasons of it's so silly that it's kind of watchable, then fine. But and for other people who find it actually real and find the stuff real and what he did and all mediums, fine. But it crosses the line when they're asking for money and lots of it, or charging you more, or like saying, "Oh, I've got a feeling, but you'll have to pay for an extra session, so they'll drag it out or something like that." Shit,
like evangelical churches. Crazy.
Exactly that.
Yeah,
it's like I told you when we talked about this earlier. Darren Brown comes to Southend every year, but every time he does a tour, and we always go. And one of his was based around that. And at the end of the first half, he's like, "Right, I'm going to do this at the beginning of the next half. If you'd like to be involved and get up on stage."
Was it the Preacher one? I can't remember.
I assume so.
There was two different ones. Yeah.
So the Preacher one, I'm sure he went to America and created a preacher. He turned a dude into a preacher,
this was the stage show.
The one that Penny's talking about is a stage show that came out.
Stage show, yeah.
Yeah, he healed someone's leg, but he convinced them that it was healed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I saw that one as well, but this one he was like, I'm going to be a medium. Yeah. And he was like, this is not true. This is how they do it. They will cold read, they'll have, he explained how they'll have people in the audience that will listen, because you'll be like, oh, I'm hoping to hear from my nan, and they pick up bits. And it's like, again, so if I've got a woman and she's of a certain age, then she's probably more likely to have lost a grandparent and not, and all these sorts of things that they know. And he was like, so I'm going to do it, and you can all come up on stage, but it's not real. And partway through, he was telling them shit that they were like, I don't know how he knows that, they were like, they had to ask a woman to leave the stage because she was getting she was in it. She believed him, and she was getting quite upset, and he had to be like, it's not real. But he had to stop with her, because even though the whole way through he was like, it's not real. I guess he's reading ticks and micro movements, and he's magic. But you could never be friends with him, could you? He'd know things before you even knew him. It'd freak me out.
This is the one Andy's mentioning about. The man who contacts the dead is this one. Is the guy who he got to convince he is a medium to everyone else, and then they were just kind of going along with it, I guess. But that's the man who contacts the dead. But yeah,
the fact that he told her it was fake, and she was still.
But people believe she still got into it. If they want something to,
it's comforting.
If they're specifically looking for something, then they'll find it, and that's why I think it's a bit, it is fraudulent.
Yeah. To
sort of have people come up and go, oh well, this person is definitely looking for an answer. I'll just bullshit till I get it.
Yeah, and they'll pay me for it. That's when it's.
It's kind of the same. And again, look, I'm baptized Catholic. I'm now atheist, but I've been through the Catholic process and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of how I feel with religion, is that there is some people out there to scam you. There's pastors, American pastors. There's Bob Oakland or Bob Copeland, whoever his name is a fucking big scammer. Got 2 private jets and everything. He's fucking there's always going to be scammers in certain industries, okay? Especially when the evidence is down to one person telling you that this is real. That's the big thing. But I understand that it provides comfort to people, especially when they lost someone and they need someone to say it's okay, especially if they don't have anyone else. That's fine. Okay, I get that. If you want to pay for that and you want to feel better, that's fine. But please don't take it as 100% true what this person is saying, because it may not be. So, yeah.
Jenny went to one when she was about 18, something like that, and it was all kind of, she wasn't looking for dead people, but someone told her she was a good one, and she went to one, and they talked about a bunch of stuff, and they recorded it on a cassette tape, and she stopped the cassette tape at one point, and she was just like, I got something, but I didn't want to put it on tape in case you wanted to play the tape to anyone, and I didn't want to upset anyone. It's like, right. And she's like, is your sister gay? Jenny was like, so if Jenny's like 18, 19, I'm 4 years older than her. And she was like, not that I know of. And she's like, I see her with a lot of women, and I don't know why. I'm just getting a thing of her and women, and it might not be that, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Jenny's now 31. I'm still not gay. So the only explanation I have for I mean, I suppose there is, but the only thing I can think of is, when I was 21, something like that, I became a nail technician, which was a bit of a surprise for everyone, including me. And then I did that for a really long time. And then I worked in a school. So I had a lot of jobs that were mostly female based.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can think of. But I'm pretty sure since then, Jenny's still been a bit like, are you sure you're not gay? Because that lady told me you might be. I think she thinks I've been fibbing.
Did the woman also come up with other stuff as well? There was
what, other than me being gay?
Accurate, or was it just
might have to ask her. It wasn't just that. I think there was something about Jen's husband, like they'd already met, because Jenny and Lewis have been on and off and together for a long time. You would have to ask her. I cannot remember the specifics. Just the fact that I had to defend my sexuality because a stranger told her I might be gay.
Next time we hang out with her, I will ask
her what else she said.
Should we all go to a medium one day?
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
I'm not against it.
That's the thing. I'd go to, I don't want to say a good one, but like I'd go to a recommended one where people have gone.
TripAdvisor reviews.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go to, like, if I'm going to
I'd rather go to a shit one.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know.
I want to go to that woman we saw that you sent us earlier.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be much better.
I may have to go there and see what she says and then record it and play it on here.
That'd be much, much better.
Can you do that without
someone who...
I got a feeling you're hanging around with two assholes every Tuesday for 5 hours.
Man, if she's spot on, then give her all your money.
If she gets that,
take it
then
back.
I will believe. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really lost anyone. So I haven't really lost anyone recently. So if she says, "Oh, you've lost someone," I'm like, "Have I?" And see what happens.
Does it have to be recently though?
I mean, I haven't got my granddad or grandmother, I guess, but yeah, that was 10, 15 years ago. So yeah, but
they don't like get bored of you over time, Dan. They're still watching over you, right?
My grandparents got a lot of grandkids, so I'm probably the least of their priorities.
Oh, hearts in the chat for Andy. Oh, I can't even do a fucking heart. There you go. Bless him. Penny, you sent me a video called Pooh and Piglet, Good Touch, Bad Touch, and I'm scared to hit play. And he just I
don't mean to make this the Jenny Bennett podcast, but she reminded me of this the other day, so I sent it to you because it is a legit video from...
Just play it, yeah?
You can play it. It's from a legitimate Disney Winnie-the-Pooh live action. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. Show. I'm not sure what year it's from. It starts off alright, and then.
Why do I feel like this is going to give us
nightmares?
Star Wars Christmas holiday special vibes.
It looks like it from the first shot.
Gets a bit worse than that.
I mean,
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm honest.
Look at it.
So this is a real.
Oh my god! What is that?
You ready?
That's Tigger and Owl.
Here we go.
That is like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, but worse.
Well, that was certainly interesting.
Yes, it was. But, oh, I hate to mention it, Pooh. I really do. But I think we should tell our friends that danger doesn't always come from strangers.
What the fuck is that?
Pen, why are we doing this?
I'm gonna get nightmares.
Jenny reminded me of it, and it's got a catchy little song coming up. I think we should listen to.
Great,
you're right.
Great.
People you see every day might want to touch you, and sometimes that's dangerous.
Okay, Pooh.
Fucking hell.
Well, there
Oh,
are
God, look at the
certain
bridge.
private places on your body that nobody is supposed to touch except you. Your bathing suit covers your private parts. Sometimes your parents might touch
Petty.
them if they're
I'm watching you
dressing
two, not
or
this.
bathing you. Or the doctor has to touch them when he's examining you. That's okay touching.
Oh, but is there touching that's not okay, Pooh?
PG.
Oh, yes, Piglet. And that's
You
the
said it,
kind
not
of
me.
touching that gives you a funny feeling inside. It feels wrong
Pen.
because other people shouldn't touch
Pen.
your
Pen. What the fuck? Where did she find this shit?
I don't know, but it's like an educational Winnie-the-Pooh
Touching
video.
you and it feels funny.
Yeah, he's telling you about good touching and bad touching.
Yeah, to
'cause-
kids though at the young age.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you have to teach kids about that so that if it happens to them, unfortunately, they will be able to tell someone. It's very
But why
important, but
do-
this video is fucking
why-
creepy.
Why do they have to use a fucking demented Winnie the Pooh for it? Why couldn't they have just made it a fucking cartoon instead of something that looks like a nightmare?
You know what this reminds me of? Remember I told you that Barney the Dinosaur is being remade and it's going to be remade into a darker version of Barney the Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait
This
for
is-
it.
yeah.
But yeah, this is a bit more public
I
service
think it's the
announcement.
fact. I think it's the fact that Pooh's fur looks really faded. Like the lighting
does
just
look like-
isn't
It
right.
looks like he's painted
Grungy.
on. It's just painted
Yeah.
yellow.
I mean, it looks like someone has just found that suit in a bin and been like, I'm going to put it on and then tell kids not to touch each other.
Look at that face.
It's fucking haunting.
Piglet's just got a
Absolutely
round
haunting.
head.
I'm trying to find out, like, where it's, like, when it's from.
Let's carry
I don't
on.
know.
But Pooh, what do I do if somebody tries to touch me that way?
Now, here's the important part. If anybody tries to touch you anywhere in a not okay way, a way that feels wrong, tell them
I just need to get to
no.
the song.
No matter who they are, Pooh.
Absolutely, Piglet. It's not always a stranger, even if it's somebody you know or somebody you've seen at home, at school, or in your neighborhood. You have to
It's
say
awkward.
no.
It just needs to get to the song.
If someone gets too near to your private parts, say no loud and clear. That's being smart.
I'm not very good at saying no. Could you show me
This
how?
scares Andy, I can tell. He's looking away from the
Apparently, it's from Pooh Corner, which was on between
Pooh
1983
Corner.
and 1987.
Why does it look like it was filmed in the 40s?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks like fucking propaganda. It's horrendous.
That's what Essex boys say. Gonna have a
What?
propaganda.
Oh, very good.
Thanks.
Very good.
I don't know if I can watch anymore. I'll keep going.
Let's get this shit
Yeah,
over
it's
with.
a ca-
Look
it's a
how
catchy
long the
song.
video is.
Say no.
Look
Yeah,
how
we
long
only
the
need the
video
song.
I'm not watching the whole thing.
That it's not
No, just the
okay
song.
with me. No, don't do that. I
Don't
have
do
the
that.
right, you see. My body is my very own. That's how it's got to be. I've learned this is the time to say it's not okay with me. No, stop that. It's
Don't do
really
that.
not okay.
It's not okay with
No,
me.
don't do that. Take your hands away.
Oh, the worst part is the lyrics are like Idol songs. And I really love Idols. I honestly.
You're gonna upset
really
some
do
Idols
love 'em.
fans.
Yeah, myself. That's the worst part. I'm genuinely upset
Can't
myself
take
about
it
it.
anymore. I get it's educational, but just, when things are just
No,
the
don't do
bad
that.
fucking
things,
haunting.
It's not
It is
okay with
haunting,
me.
that scares
Well,
the
I've
shit
seen it, so I had to share it with all of you. So
Well,
I
thank
mean, it
you.
is
You
like
wish you'd
a
used-
real. It's like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, but worse.
yeah,
And
it's
like
a real
that was intended to be sinister. That fucking wasn't.
no. So there you go.
So yeah, don't if you learned something from that, then yeah, there you go. Pooh Bear told you something educational that you should be aware of. Well,
Ian, you thought my cheese chocolate fountain videos were stupid.
don't make
this
me
is
pull that up.
worse.
Everyone's seen that clip by now. It's gone worldwide. It's a guy with the
Yeah, I
cheese
know.
machine. I can't find it now.
I know.
Yeah, but this is
killed
taken
them.
such a turn from schools to Derek Acorah to frightening fucking Pooh Bear. Jesus Christ.
We had quite like grown-up conversations, and then Winnie-the-Pooh ruined it.
I genuinely don't know what to say. I can't add anything to this because I feel like a broken man.
I feel like it's the time like when I get, because I got 3 times I've got it in my lifetime, like get sleep paralysis, and I see that. I'm just like,
You will now.
Yeah, thanks, Pen. That's gonna.
At least he'll be saying he won't be touching you when you're like sleep paralyzed, because it's not okay.
I don't want to. That's gonna get in my head and stay in there, and then my brain's gonna work in a way to
Don't do
make it
that.
happen.
It's not okay with me.
Do you ever find songs that you like imagine one day you're going to have a breakdown to? Because that's fucking one of them for me. That's just immediate. The second I start to go downhill, that's going to start playing, and I'm going to go well off the edge.
Sounds like it's going to happen fairly soon by the looks of you.
I mean, I feel like it's about to happen in about 5
I'm going
minutes.
to change the topic. Can I talk about the time I nearly died?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much cheerier. Thank you.
Changes.
Yeah. Look, everyone's perked up.
I've got I've got a couple of stories. I can give you the titles, and you just pick one you would like me to talk about. They're all funny story. I have a lot of story time stuff. First one, I nearly died when I was 8 years old. In brackets, girl bike.
We just write these titles down.
The second one, so I nearly died when I was 8 years old. Brackets, girl bike. I may say the rest on different episodes after that. The second one is my first awkward love with a Scottish girl. The third one is I was maybe in brackets, part of the Irish Mafia. And 4.
The second one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 4. Fuck no. Sorry.
And then the fourth one, I have many weird fucking tales. Fourth one is my Yu-Gi-Oh days, in brackets, age 17.
What was the second one about the Scottish girl again?
My first awkward love with a Scottish girl.
Have there been many?
Yeah, that implies that there were more than one awkward love.
No, she was my only one, so it's my only awkward love with a Scottish girl. And yeah, but so pick one. I could.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh can wait because we've had your
Yeah.
Pokemon story.
Mm.
What was the first one?
I
The time
nearly
you
died when
died.
I
Girl
was
bike.
8 years old. In brackets, girl bike.
Go bike. And
Go
the
bike.
third one.
Irish Mafia.
I might be part of the Irish Mafia, maybe, and I have to be careful with that story.
Then
I mean, I feel like
I'm
we should
gonna
go to
get
that one.
this.
That's
I
the
forgot
that's
them
the
on
one.
YouTube. Fuck. I have to be. Okay, which one? Just tell me which one.
Mafia.
Yeah.
Andy? Mafia?
Also Mafia.
Okay, I have to be really careful with this. Okay. This sounds so dodgy. So it's not. It's not. Really.
Is this one that maybe you shouldn't be saying on YouTube?
No. It's like I don't mind. Like I have no shame on the internet. It's all gone away. Like, you know, one day my news are gonna leak and I'll be like, heh. Anyway, moving on. You can tell I have the
No,
most caffeine.
don't do
or
that.
Penny.
It's not okay
Oh
with
my
me.
god, no!
No, Pen!
Stop! I
Pen!
don't want to do it now. Right, so
I was just feeling better about things.
I don't want to see Dan's nudes. Sorry.
no one does.
I didn't want to see fucking Winnie the Pooh, but actually it's a nightmare, and I just have. So deal with it. We're seeing Dan's dick.
That's getting clipped. So highlights. Okay, so the Mafia one. So for people who don't know, I was born in England, and when I was 5 years old, my parents split up, and I went with my dad to Ireland. Long story, he took the kids away. Went to Ireland. Mum stayed in England, and I lived from 5 years old to 14 years old in Ireland, hence why my accent is not like this, innit? Anyway, like pennies.
It's offensive one.
Right, so-
Unnecessary.
Fucking hell, mate.
I used to live in Essex, so I can do it. It's fine.
No, that's not how that works.
Anyway,
Which bit of Essex did you live in?
Romford. The fucking...
No, it is
Most-
proper Essex. I'll give you that.
There you go. Thank you.
But still,
Pen, you're not in proper Essex, are you?
No, you're not.
Southend.
Southend
Yeah.
and proper Essex.
Southend is proper Essex. Southend to like Brentwood, Romford. It's when
You
you
have a
get out
beach.
to like. Yeah.
Imagine that being the sticking point. It's not Essex, mate. You got a
Yeah,
beach.
but Essex is like, it's not meant to have a beach, and then you got Southend, it's like, oh yeah, we're Essex. It's not, no.
No, that's not true.
I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway,
I've never been to Essex, so I win.
good for you. Well done, Andy. Proud of you. So, when I was in Ireland, I had a certain relative that was related to me, not by blood, but by marriage. Not me getting married, just someone else in my life. I don't know if I'm going to tell this story or not. And he ended up being a very successful and wealthy man. So successful that he was like he bought properties in like New York City, like millions and millions. He bought hotels for millions. Like he had
Sounds very legitimate.
50 cars and 50 motorbikes, Nicolas Cage kind of thing. He had a huge house, everything. And I was very, very close to this person because part of the family got married into him and stuff like that. So anyway, I left Ireland when I was age 14 and he was still doing very, very successfully.
Did you accidentally smuggle drugs for him? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't do shit, but I have to be careful with how I phrase this because it was like
what would he have been smuggling?
No.
Like potatoes?
Racist. Stop it. Don't say that. That's racist.
It was more directed at you because you love a potato more than anything else.
So
it's also wrong. Didn't they run out of potatoes? So he wouldn't be taking them from Ireland to England.
Anyway, he used to pay for our family for trips and stuff, and everyone's family that was part. We were very much a bloodline, like in The Godfather. So like the daughter's family members of the person she's married would get paid for the wedding, and they would get a new house as a wedding present. That's the kind of life I live. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, life I lived was very different now. And like my father got a house for his birthday. Just a full like 3-story house like Penny has right now. Jealous. New cars.
It's not mine.
New everything. Like just for a birthday, just because he was, part of the family kind of thing. And that's why it feels like it's a bit like the Godfather Mafia kind of thing. But little do I know that when I left, when I was age 14 and I lived in England to stay with my mother, literally a year or two later, found out that through the Irish newspapers, the main ones, the big ones, he was dodging taxes.
Potato Gazette.
Oh my God, you're going to upset so many people. Don't say that. No, I have Irish viewers that will.
He started it.
No, I was talking specifically about Dan. I made that very clear.
So yeah, he used to like millions in unpaid taxes. There was a story. I'll just tell you what he did. He was in construction. Okay. There was a story, which you're not going to believe, but it was real, where they tried to build like a hotel on a plot of land, but they were denied building it on a plot of land. And bearing in mind, he spent loads of money trying to build this hotel, but they couldn't build it because a rare kind of butterfly appeared in the fields and they were not allowed to. So he bought all the materials and everything, like everything for this giant hotel. Couldn't build it because they found a rare form of butterfly in the land. And by the time they went to build on it, like which was like months later, the soil had gone bad. So they just spent all this money and all this stuff. And end story is he ended up bankrupt and liquidation, and that life slowly went away. And I haven't heard from him since. And not that like we were close and everything. Not that I didn't like. We were close at the time, but different circumstances in my childhood led me to be in England, and I'm staying in England kind of thing. But I found all this out like 2 years ago, that his fortune just went boom. And we went on trips to America. He paid for it. Went on cruise trips. Went to Disneyland multiple times. Just paid by him because we were part of the family, like in The God.
On Ireland's tax dollars. That's why they didn't have enough potatoes.
Oh, fucking hell.
So that is one of my stories of how I think I was sort of in the Irish Mafia.
I think as long as you didn't do anything, then you're fine.
No, I just
Like if he wasn't like, take this bag, don't ask what's in it, and leave it on the third park bench on the left on a Tuesday.
I need to say for the record, since this is on video, yeah, I'm not associated with that family anymore. It's been like 16 years.
Dan pays his taxes.
I have paid my taxes when I had a job, and still pay my taxes. And yeah, I'm not causing offense to anyone because it was quite a big story in Ireland. And I remember like legitimately reading on the front page of a website like the Irish Times and stuff and going, oh my god, and just going shit. So yeah, that's weird.
Does she not have any idea at all?
No, I was 13. What, that he wasn't paying taxes and dodging?
No, not specifically the taxes. That he was like a big enough name for it to hit the front pages.
Because when you're young and you like, it's only when you're older and you realize how expensive things are, and you're just like, wow, he bought like 6 Aston Martins in different colors and stuff, and you think, well, probably has a bit of money for that. No, he has fucking loads. Yeah, it's sort of like the family got married into that life. We were very poor, like so poor beforehand. Like we were literally we were living in people's flats that I didn't know every week. I was sleeping on the floor at age like 8 in like just nothing, no mattress, and I'm like that fucking poor. And then due to marriage and things being married into people's families, it changed from that to cruise ships on the Royal Caribbean around the Gulf of Mexico. So strange fucking time, but yeah, it's another life for Dan. It was there's a lot of stories that come out of that, like the Scottish girl thing that I talked about. That was on a cruise trip that was paid for by so and so, and that's where I met this Scottish girl. But yeah,
is that the story of when you lost your virginity to a Scottish girl on a cruise ship?
No, I was 12. So that would
sounds like a country story,
on the cruise ship or the
I met the girl when I'm gonna have to say for another time unless I tell it again. But I was 12 years old and I met a Scottish girl. I never met anyone that wasn't. The first time I met a Scottish person, so I was like, your accent, kind of thing. But yeah, it ended badly. But so there you go. See, Dan gets all this personal shit out. Dan's not afraid to tell as it is. He's all right with it. Come on, guys. Tell me about your Mafia stories. Let's go. Penny, how did you get all that money?
I haven't got any money.
Okay. So, yeah.
I've got less money than you. Andy's heard all my stories.
I mean, there are some pretty good stories, in fairness.
You don't have to be
personal. I've heard them all. I've heard them all 4 and 5 times. Like,
that's the thing. Like, I only have so many, and they get repeated, and I don't think that interesting until people go, "That's really weird." And then I kind of forget which story. The
thing is, I wouldn't, if I was the same person I was 10 years ago, I definitely wouldn't say a word of that story. But because I've, like when we talked about it on the podcast, when I was doing that fucking interview thing for the movies stuff, and I was so, like, on my voice, it was so nervous. I've just excelled what I can, like, I'm too confident that I say too much that I probably shouldn't say and stuff. And then
reach into the choir, mate.
Yeah, well, on top of that, I'm on the fucking internet, so it's probably really bad that I do that. But I don't, like, I there's I have a lot of stories, like, and they're just, like, learning experiences, that's all. But I don't know what I can learn from that.
You've grown as a person, I would say, since I've known you, certainly.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a point where you were awkward to be in a room with.
Do you want to tell stories of that?
Joy out of everything? No, I don't.
He sucked the joy out of everything. Is that true?
Just quite awkward and made everyone quite uncomfortable. But now, I'm not going to say you're a delight to be around, but you're certainly tolerable.
Fucking, you're a delight.
Well, you're obviously not that awkward if we can spend 5 hours in a virtual room. together. So
It took time, is all it was. Like Andy said the first time. I barely spoke to Andy the first time I went into his house. I think
he hasn't even let you see his upstairs, so you're not even really friends.
I haven't
to be
even
honest.
seen his upstairs. Apparently, that fucking room is his upstairs. Never seen it before in 6 years or so. So there you go. Hi, Charlotte. Go back.
Which is worrying because I don't have a toilet downstairs, and he's definitely been shitting somewhere.
in the little box.
There is a toilet downstairs.
I know, panel. It's just winding you up.
Good one. Good one. Anything before we sign off, guys?
I don't know if I have any like personal growth stories. No, I'll have to think of.
Do you want me to tell another
can't
one
even-
then? The bike one. The girl bike.
I once nearly died eating a fish finger sandwich,
Oh yeah.
which I'm sure I've told you both before.
Briefly. I mean, how far can you go with eating the fish finger sandwich?
I mean, I genuinely thought I was going to die, if that helps.
Okay. How many fish fingers were in the sandwich then?
Yeah. Paint us a picture.
Yeah.
So this was the ratio, right? I'd just taken the fish fingers out of the oven. Nice, soft bit of white bread, thick spread of butter.
Okay.
A little bit of barbecue sauce. You spread to the edges so you get it all over the place. Then you go 2 layers of fish fingers. You've got 4 across, and then you sort of turn it so you've got 4 going the other direction.
Can't.
That's overload.
You squish it down a bit,
Yeah, that's your own
and then another one on top. Here we
your
go.
fault.
Right.
Wait, another what? Another bit of bread.
Slice of bread.
Not another- Okay,
So you've got 8 fish fingers to 2 slices of bread.
It's your own fucking
I don't know.
fault.
I don't know about this ratio.
It's excessive. It really was excessive. For some reason, I was hungry enough to like take a bite the second I had assembled the sandwich. I literally just sat down, put it in my mouth, took a bite that was probably too big, and
Probably. It's
No, it
fucking
was
this
definitely
big
too
a
big.
sandwich.
definitely too big. The batter on the fish finger came apart, so I was just left with a searing hot bit of fish that stuck to the back of my throat and blistered immediately, and I couldn't get rid of it, so it was just stuck there, blocking my airways with fish.
Imagine if that's how
Couldn't
you
breathe.
Yeah, man.
I honestly
That'd
thought
be
I was going to
awful.
die. I couldn't breathe, and I was in absolute agony. My parents are around there laughing, thinking I'm just taking the piss, whilst I'm grasping at my throat, trying to get any sort of air. I managed to find a beverage that was like near me. I think it was cold tea. I don't
Oof.
remember.
Fucking that.
Drunk enough of it to sort of dislodge the
Did you
now
slip on
melted...
a banana peel on the way? It sounds like it's
No, it
going
sounds
that.
like it. It's going that way, isn't it?
Oh,
Managed to drink enough cold tea to dislodge the still piping hot fish finger from the back of my throat, and it blistered. And I couldn't eat for about 4 days. It was horrendous. The worst part is I got no sort of support
No sympathy.
from my family. They just didn't give a shit.
Did you sue Captain Birdseye, and that's why he's not on our tellies anymore?
oh yeah. Is he
I
awful?
should have.
He is on telly now. He's just younger, isn't he? Isn't he
They
fit
change
now?
him
He's been
every
replaced.
year.
The original Captain Birdseye died.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P.
That's why I've
If
been
it
growing my
helps.
beard out.
When I was 15ish, I went through a weird phase of passing out a lot. I don't know why. But the first time I did it, we were on holiday,
Okay.
and but I passed out. Jenny thought I was taking the piss and just fucking smacked me and went, "Stop being a dickhead." And then I crumpled to the floor. I don't remember any of it. So that makes you feel better for not
smacked
having
yourself.
any. No, she hit me and went, "Stop being a dickhead," because she thought I was mucking around.
When she was
So
11.
yeah,
Did you say you were 15?
She maybe didn't say dickhead. I'm maybe paraphrasing, but like I wasn't feeling very well. I was like leaning like this on my mum's shoulder, and apparently I started to just crumble. And she was like, "Stop being an idiot," and smacked me. And then I crumbled onto the floor and didn't wake up for 2 minutes.
I mean, luckily it's not a long drop for you.
No, it's not. But I thought you'd appreciate the also lack of sympathy.
It's not a long
I do
drop.
appreciate it. I just looked
I mean,
at Dan and
technically
all
I
could
just
see was his
crumpled.
forehead.
Down.
It's not like Oblivion
Yeah, I feel
in
like-
fucking Alton Towers.
All right, I meant more because she's fucking tiny.
Yeah,
As
okay, I
opposed
get
to falling off a building, you prick.
Fucking hell.
I'll give you this, right? White bread. I had a phase of eating fish finger sandwiches like this for a while. White bread. Only one layer of fish fingers because I'm small. Some sort of mature cheddar, like quite a sharp cheddar. Ketchup, mustard, bread.
Fucking hell.
We're going to have
Right,
to do a
everyone.
whole episode about sandwiches because
Oh, let's talk about
Right.
our
Shit.
eating and drinking habits and see which one is. Well, actually, no, I'm not that great either. I was gonna say. We're all
Hey, I
terrible.
cooked this
We're all
week.
Well done,
I
Fen.
cooked real food.
You're older than
and I didn't
me.
give any... I still live at home. I don't need to cook.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just get Jeffrey
alright,
to
Sam.
bring in the fucking food.
My mum's name isn't Jeffrey.
No, your butler. You're one of your 6 that you have there.
My life would be much more put together if I had a butler. If anyone wants a position as an unpaid butler and or personal assistant.
I miss my
Yeah,
butler. Anyway,
Yeah, you're the one that had a butler.
I didn't have a butler.
also
And you
I'm
cru-
your fucking
I've never been
personal
on a
assistant.
cruise. Actually, yeah, you are. It's unpaid though, so at least I didn't offer to pay anyone else and you get offended.
I would have been annoyed.
And on that
I would
note,
also happily give that job up though. So
Yeah.
just
You
saying,
can't. Sorry.
I've delegated it to a whiteboard now.
That you haven't even got.
No, I've delegated to a whiteboard that you own, and I tell you to write
yeah.
it.
How bad it's gone.
and on that note, thank you very much for watching After Dark.
Thanks.
What another weird fucking hour of your life watching.
We're
it.
just never going to beat Golden Balls. I think we peaked at episode 3. A bit like Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, I never want to do
That was
one
episode 4?
episode where we just watched fucking UK, not even quiz shows. I call it a quiz show. It's just a game show. It's not even a quiz, but yeah, for a whole hour. I mean, unless we plan it in advance and go, hey, we're doing a Deal or No Deal special coming up. We're gonna watch an episode.
No.
I'm out. I'm totally
I'm
out.
Watch
No
along.
deal.
I'm working that day.
I'm gonna swap, please. No.
Strike it lucky. I'm in.
I
but
feel
not
feel
here
really
on
good about this.
It's your idea.
Got a strong feeling about box number 6. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you
Thanks,
next
everyone.
week.
Goodbye.